The coachable moments hack, I want to come back to this issue that we talked about with time, and often one of the main things we say, oh, I don't have enough time to do coaching, or I'll just tell them it's easier. Not enough time. And yesterday, this was within the workshop yesterday, we were doing the same thing, where we asked the question, what are the opportunities to coach even if you only had 2 minutes? Like, what scenarios would you find yourself in where you don't need half an hour, you don't need 20 minutes. You could just do it in a minute or 2 or 3 or 4. What are those coachable moments that you find yourself in every day, right? Every day. And it could be not just at work, but certainly in our context we're talking about work, but where else? What's the circuit breaking question? If you had the magic wand, what would you do about it? Right, so what is that question doing? Yeah, right. So move away from victim mindset into player mindset, which is, so what are you going to do? Or what might you do, right?
Yeah, sometimes, Steve, you don't have to fix it, right? I mean, sometimes it's just sitting and listening. Yeah. We don't have to fix everything.
Yeah. Yeah, often particularly when I'm being paid to do coaching, and they come in with that, and about 5 minutes in, I'll go, okay, hang on, you know you're on the clock here. Though I won't actually say that bit, but I'll say, look, what do you want? What do you want to do here? Because I'm happy for you just to keep going and whinge, but I don't think it's going to serve you. I might not say whinge. Do you just want to have a dump? Basically, calling out what's going on is really useful, and then say, where do you want to take this? And then they go, oh, actually, thank you. I had to get that off my chest. Okay, let's get to work, right? And sometimes people they just save it up, right? And then it kind of comes out. Yeah. So beautiful way to, I'd spot a coachable moment. The reframing that can go with that is really great. Is there a criteria or something that might be, go this way more, as opposed to go that way? Is there kind of a sense of, oh, you asked a question? How do you know when that time is, when it's more, not every time, but actually this is the time? I think one of the tricks that we have to watch out for, the traps, is with that ladder, right? If you come out here today and you start to play up here, where their conditioning with you is you've been here forever, no, that's not now. It's actually, there's a leading into it. But it might be, hey, I've been thinking about how we could work differently together so you can get, you can grow and learn, etc. And I reckon part of it's about actually playing up here more together, right? So you can kind of show them a roadmap. What would that look like to you, sort of thing? Yeah. So, but not just, okay, so yeah, what would the magic wand do for you?
So what we've learned is with this sort of coaching thing, you need something you can trademark. So there and back again, right? You get it here first. Idea is that you and the person you're going to be coaching with, you go for a walk and you go to a destination. So the example given is like along the waterfront. So it's a route that you walk along and then you return and walk back. And the key to it is that when you're walking along, one person is doing the sort of talking, the other one's doing the coaching, and then you swap. So you come back. So if you like the speaking stick, the whole discussion around, how it works is a two-way street, and that's what you do. There and back again.
There and back again. I call it a 7x7. Because some people who want structure go, how long are we walking for? So it's like 7 minutes out, 7 minutes back. Yeah, absolutely incredibly powerful. And often it's the lack of eye contact, paradoxically, when you're walking side by side. That's your experiences, that it actually makes it easier. I actually have some of my best conversations in long car drives, when we're not looking at each other. And so there's something about the walking side by side which is incredibly powerful. Yeah. 7x7, there and back again, brilliant. Great one. I used to work with a company called Inspire Group. I was a director, and the CEO and I would often have this tacit agreement that if we saw one of us looking like we're just about to lose our shit or looking really frustrated, we'd go and do a 7x7. And that would be just a little coachable moment opportunity, right? Walk around the block and then walk back the other way. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so how about you folks? What's one from you?
Big Democratic decided 5%.
So one we picked on was a thing called great moments. So when you have a great moment, and it's not just about success. So it's turning great moments to those opportunities where you have made a mistake or had a failure and learning from it.
What's an example of one of those, like in real life?
Just even if it's a work, an output or something that hasn't gone quite as well, and as a team you might want to learn from them.
Yeah.
Or even as a facilitator, what you've tried and it hasn't worked.
Yeah, all the time. And that can take 30 seconds, right? Yeah, so what'd you try? What happened? What'd you learn from that? What would you do differently next time? 4 questions, might take more than 30 seconds, but it's the learning cycle done real quick. Yeah, very cool. I also want to pick up on great moments because my mind went to probably like many of others, the good stuff. Because often we think of coaching as like when something didn't go wrong or it went wrong. Actually, what about reinforcing what's going really well, right? And more than just, hey, great job, actually let's talk about what made it a great job, right? And how would we do more of that, right? So, and reinforcing is actually more powerful than just looking for the gaps, right? So I think we know this stuff. Which table haven't we talked to? You guys?
Yeah, we come up with one. So I mentioned a context after a meeting, and let's say it's David and I, and I might say to David, "Hey, what do you think of the way Joe Bloggs did so and so during the meeting?" So it says a conversation starter, and you might be pointing out something that someone's done particularly well, and you're starting a conversation around actually what was good about that, and maybe it'll lead on to how can we adopt that sort of approach.
Awesome. So really switching on the radar, right? Notice. What did you notice about that? Brilliant. That leads me to think about when again, with Inspire Group, people that used to work with me and who are less experienced as consultants, going to see clients. Often, in Wellington it's easy, you can just walk everywhere. And so as we'd walk to the organisation, the client, I'd be asked them, so how do you want to show up in this meeting? Or what do you want to pay attention to in terms of your own development as a consultant? And obviously, we usually would have had a deeper conversation about what is their next focus for the next 6 months for their growth. What do you want to pay attention to today in terms of how you show up in this meeting? Then afterwards on the walk back, so similar there and back again idea, so how do you reckon you went? And then we do the debrief there straight away and get them, all I'd be doing is just asking questions. Give me a bit of feedback, this is what I noticed you did, some stuff like that, but really in inviting them super real time, right? So they've had the experience, they've paid attention to what they want to do, then we've come back and I'm going, how'd you go with that? And the learning is so much richer than 3 weeks later or whatever, so do it there and then. So there's probably opportunities where you can help people set themselves up for paying attention to what they want to focus on, go and do it, come back, debrief. Yeah. Point of this was to help you identify, and maybe crystallise is a better word, what you already know, that coachable moments are everywhere. Right? And it's not about having to do iGrow, it's not about having to carve out lots of time, but just to remember, hey, here's a time to ask a question to get them to think differently.